Hey guys, CreamCrazy here. Welcome to the Extreme Rules 2012 pay-per-view review, results and opinions, whatever you want to call this thing. Now before I get into the review, please remember to click the subscribe button up there, like the video, and also connect with me down below in the description box on either Facebook, Skype, or asking me Q&A questions, whichever one you want to do. Now this pay-per-view, everybody, has left me physically drained, emotionally, mentally. I'm out of breath watching this because I had to sit in front of this computer screen for the past 3 or 4 hours, and it's been quite stressful with refreshing the stream, etc. But I bet you're all wondering right now, if I'm explaining that this pay-per-view has left me in such a state that this is worth watching, this is worth giving a decent review to. Well, if you haven't seen the matches, if you haven't seen the pay-per-view, you want to know what I have to say about this, then put this in a tab, because I bet the videos were frozen by now. Put this in a tab and listen, because it's all going to be good. First off, Randy Orton defeated Kane in a good Falls Count Anywhere match. I had to say, I was thinking, okay, yeah, it's going to start off the event just like it should have kicked off Mania, just to quickly point that out. WWE finally did the right thing. And I must also stress I had to switch streams midway through this match, so if I miss anything out, it'll explain why. Right, Orton and Kane brawl in the corner to begin. Kane uppercuts Orton off the top rope, and I thought, okay, decent way to kick this match off. Covers him outside for 2, which is too early for a pin attempt. Okay, Kane, you're 45 this past week. You can honestly think of a better way to kick off a match than doing one uppercut and then going for a cover. It just doesn't make sense. Kane then grabs the pipe from underneath the ring, which he's been attacking people with for the past while. He's then hit by Orton, but then, of course, Orton hits the gut into Kane's. Orton then hits the pipe into Kane's gut. Orton swiftly takes control, but Kane fights back and fights back into the timekeeper's area, and then and then into the crowd. This shit just finally got real. Orton punts Kane's head against the barrier in the crowd area for 2. At this point, the stream did cut out, so I may have missed something. Kane fights back with a scoop slam on the concrete, followed by 2 pin attempts and a low drop kick for another 2 count. Orton climbs up the stairs, fights back down into the technical area. Kane almost goes into the staging, and Orton hits a drop kick. Kane lands hard. Orton sells, landing on the concrete himself, which gotta give Orton his props for, because I often would not see him do that. Orton then goes for the RKO. Kane counters and hits a big boot for 2. Kane and Orton brawl into the backstage area. Stream has to be refreshed again. Kane rams Orton's head into the steel door. Kane is then thrown into a room where Zack Ryder and a few others are watching the event. I thought, okay, what the hell are you not doing in the locker room supporting your guys, giving them little pep talks, you know? You're on this together. But then Ryder attacks Kane. And obviously we know the story and the implications of these two. So fun to see that being put in. Kane is ready to chokeslam Ryder onto a steel chair. Orton then hits him with his patented backbreaker when clawing him in a sleeper hold position. Nice. Oh, where the fuck am I? I've lost my place again. He then covers for 2. Orton's then thrown in some poles. Orton stumbles around. Kane knocks down the cameraman and then throws a supply trolley installed at Orton's back, which I have to say the commentators oversell with their voices amazingly well. And then covers for 2. Both men are back out in the ring. Orton has regained control. He hits punches. The fans are responding with yes chants. Chicago, the night has barely begun and you're already impressing me. Fuck yeah. Orton hits a power slam, gets a chair from under the ring and smacks across Kane multiple times, followed by multiple yes chants. Again, awesome crowd. Orton then throws Kane into the announce table. Orton deconstructs it. Kane then gets up, goes for the chokehold, ready for the choke slam. Orton gets out, slamming Kane onto the table. Orton lines up a hangman DDT, hits it on the floor. Orton selling that landing as well. Again, not a safe place to fall. Well done, man. 1, 2, Kane kicks out of it. Wow, I didn't see that coming. Orton goes for the RKO. Kane counters, throws him into the post. Covers for 2. Kane goes to the top rope. Orton knocks him down. Orton lines up a superplex, which connects. shocked he could lift Kane up for a superplex. Blows the mind. 1, 2, Kane kicks out again. Orton lines up an RKO. Kane counters, hits the choke slam. 1, 2, Orton somehow kicks out. Kane places the chair down, stalking Orton, ready for a pile driver. We all know this is coming. We all knew this ending was going to happen. Orton wriggles out. Kane misses with a clothesline. And wham bam, thank you ma'am. It's RKO on the chair. 1, 2, 3. Orton picks up the win. Easily to be expected. Predictable as hell. And I will say this. Definitely what I expected to see from a Falls Count Anywhere match. A brawl where you fight in the crowd. You fight on the alleyway stairs. You fight in the back. You get the fact that you get Ryder's interference. This is what you need. This is what you need to make this a full-out brawl, and this is what you want from this kind of match. Great way to open the evening. Orton sold the floor landings nicely, and seeing this match go backstage was fun, as well as having Ryder getting involved. What the fuck? When are we ever going to say I'm happy in the last while to see Ryder involved in something? It's good. It made the match great. Plus, it gave this match was given time to fully go its course, which is great, because their WrestleMania match, albeit was a bit short, but still gave us what we needed. However, this is a predictable ending, because to be honest, everybody saw that coming the moment the chair was placed down. If you didn't, then I have no idea what the hell you were thinking of at the time. And not to mention, there was also a lot of quick no-selling a few times, and the lack of continued weapon usage make this lack a little something to be good overall. However, I am happy with this match, although it did need a little more to become better. 2 3/4 stars. I am pleased. These guys, again, putting on a good match. Well done, you guys. An unannounced match here. Brodus Clay defeated Dolph Ziggler in what was a very, very bad match, to be precise. Now, the crowd popped for Clay, who came out with Hornswoggle. And the crowd after that booed him repeatedly in the match. Now, how ridiculous. The crowd was swerving all night. It was quite funny. I'm going to tell you that for sure. Clay and Hornswoggle came out, and Cole said it was embarrassing. And Michael Cole, for the first time, you and I are on the same page. You and I. Two guys who are you don't think alike often. One man, in my case, who hates you, and you as a person who does not even know I exist. We finally agree on something. And also, I will say this. Unlike most matches that get made on the night at a pay-per-view, this one actually made sense because it was built up on Raw this past week. Why it wasn't added to the card on last week's Raw, I have no clue. Oh, God. I needed that. Cool. Right. Let's see. Let's go. Ziggler chants rang out as the match began. Just proved to you my point. He says Ziggler was over with this crowd. Clay got distracted by Swagger, then got hit to the outside. Ziggler tries to go over the top rope, but is restrained by the referee. Swagger whacks the clothesline to get the Funkasaurus down. Ziggler beats Brodus down in the ring, but Clay hits back. Ziggler heads a drop kick at the knee, followed by a famous for 2. Nice drop kick to the head, covers Ziggler for 2. Ziggler locks in a sleeper hold and Clay hits out. Ziggler's right back on the attack. More yes chants are coming out as he beats down Clay in the corner. Ziggler goes for a suplex, which is surprising, but Clay counters into a gourd buster. Swagger is beat down by Clay. Clay counters a sleeper hold, whacks his head against Ziggler's ribs, and then goes for a splash to get the win. I will say this. Ziggler had offense. Holy shit, much more than Drew McIntyre could ever pray for. However, that is all this match gave, and sure, giving the other guys some form of offense is a great thing. The only issue is if this match had anything more, I would have given it at least 1/4 star. Very little minimum, but it didn't. So therefore, sorry, this phlegm is kicking me again. I'll give this a 0. I will give this a cold, hard, fat 0. And that is deserving, I say. Now here, ladies and gentlemen, is the most shocking result of the night. Rhodes defeated Big Show in a tables match to win the Intercontinental Championship. Now, I bet you're all thinking right now, how the fuck did that happen? Or actually, if you watched it, I bet you're saying, wow, I didn't see that coming. Well, let's take a look at how this goes. First off, though, WWE have a habit, usually a day or so, the Raw SmackDown after a pay-per-view, or a week or two later, they only show the still pictures from a pay-per-view event. This time, they actually showed the full-length video of Cody being beaten at WrestleMania. Hallelujah! They'd be very happy there. Show goes right at Cody as the bell rings. I at this point said, I smell an easy win. I thought Show was going to beat him, throw him about, put him through a table, easy. Cody hit the knee of Show to get him down. However, Show just threw him into the timekeeper area, then threw him back out on the floor. Show put a table in the ring, looking to end this thing early. The commentators are just talking nonsense about something farm related. I wasn't entirely sure, but it was stupid. Cody then was thrown at the table in the corner. Rhodes bounces off the table and hits a disaster kick. I was going, oh, because it was beautifully done. It was beautifully done. Lovely work, Cody. This is why you're poised for a main event push, man. Cody runs to push Show into the table at each clothesline. Cody is then thrown into the barricade on the outside. He lovingly shouts, oh, my hip! I could tell somebody is going to put something on a picture of Cody Rhodes on the internet, and it'll probably end up on Know Your Meme at some point. Yes, chance, again, ring out. Cody dropkicks Show off the apron and Show's foot then goes through the table. And at this point I'm thinking, okay, what's going on here? The referee then rings the bell. Cody wins because Big Show did go through the table. He went through it with his foot. Show then spears Cody, chokeslams him through the table. Too bad the match is over. Show isn't done though. He military press slams Cody to the table on the outside. I'll tell you now, I really thought this was going to be a chance for Cody to basically, he would get squished. And he wouldn't be going, he'd just move off to Raw and do what he wanted. To see this outcome is great. It looks like Show got his WrestleMania moment, his Grand Slam win, and he's therefore saying, okay, got my moment in the sun, I'm giving it back to you, business as usual. It means that he's got his moments and Cody can be back on the road again, because to be building himself back to a main event level. Because then again, remember that Cody left on his own 2 feet. He may have defeated him, looked a bit cheap doing it, but at least he managed to prove that he's got what it takes to at least go out on his own 2 feet. Good strength there. And you know what? This is a very slow match, actually. Basically, everything I described is exactly what this match was. It was quite slow, very short. And I'll give the ending being unexpected and the disaster kick rebound some props with half a star for its due. I'll give it its due for that. Come on. It was not the best match ever. Fuck it, it was way away from those standards. Way away from here. But yeah, I say now, I didn't expect too much after what WrestleMania gave us, so giving it half a star is worth it, really. That disaster kick is worth seeing on YouTube alone. Fuck, that was genius. Right. Here is this match. The match which, to be honest, I thought WWE were going to go one way or the other. They were going to either have Daniel Bryan lose quickly, or they were going to give this match the time it deserved. Luckily, they went for the second one. Sheamus defeated Daniel Bryan by 2 falls to 1 in a 2 out of 3 falls match to retain the World Heavyweight Championship in a damn good match. I'm moving this laptop back so this microphone doesn't fucking muck itself up. I'm going to take a quick drink of water because there's a lot to get through in this match. Right. All's good. Now, Sheamus wore an 18 seconds t-shirt. Fun as hell. How fun is that? And not to mention, the crowd at when Bryan came out with booing him, they then started cheering him once the match started. Again, crowd are swerving. Sheamus went for the bro kick, but Bryan weaseled away quickly. This match had just got a bit flurried, with multiple arm twists by both men as Bryan tried to lock in, I believe, the yes lock. Sheamus then grabs the arm of his own and rams his knee into it. Bryan locks in a rib hold before Sheamus locks in a wrench. This is good hold and counter hold here, people. Bryan gets caught to Sheamus' shoulders and is hit by a steamroller, which is lovely. Covers for 2. Bryan's then locked into a Texas cloverleaf. A new move! Holy shit! A new move by Sheamus. Give the clap there, people. Bryan got to the ropes. Bryan rolls through another cloverleaf attempt for 2. Sheamus overpowers Bryan by pushing a boot into the face. Bryan leaps off the rope, runs, and then clotheslines Sheamus down before baseball sliding him out of the ring. Bryan runs off the apron. Sheamus catches him in midair and hits a spinebuster into the barricade. Fucking hell, this match got intense quick. Sheamus goes to the top rope, Bryan hits him down, Bryan stops the knee, rams his own knee into Sheamus' head, covers for 1, which at this point I thought made Bryan look quite weak. Bryan locks in another arm wrench, pressing the knees into one arm, pulling back on the other. He's got one arm, a knee buried in one arm, while holding onto the other like that. That's basically my dramatization of what that move was. Bryan then basically gets this arm, and then steps on it to make an unbelievable arm stretch maneuver, which then goes into a cover. Sheamus got out at 2, but Bryan kept the arm wrench locked in. Sheamus fought out and ate kitchen sink. This is stunning in-ring work here. Stunning. Both men punch back at each other with chops and punches. Bryan rolls up Sheamus for 2. Sheamus rakes the eyes of Bryan with his shoulders then hyperextended and hurt before Bryan goes back into the arm lock on that same shoulder. Bryan is working like a machine. And those people who said that Bryan is overrated and not proven his worth, this is the match you need to see, people. Oh, where am I? Here we go. Sheamus hits a spear in the corner on Bryan and rams the knee off an Irish whip into Bryan's head. Ow! Sheamus then beats the chest 10 times, followed by a fallaway slam for 2. Kick to Sheamus' head in the corner, roll up for 2 as Sheamus is then beaten down further even more. Bryan goes for the Hurricane Runner, but Sheamus counters. Sheamus hits a battering ram, but Bryan kicks out at 2. This is really good stuff here. Sheamus goes for a suplex on the apron. Bryan counters and puts Sheamus on the outside. Bryan runs for a suicide dive, but Sheamus whacks the forearm into the head and stops him from going anywhere. Sheamus then sets up the high cross. Bryan rolls through, and then Sheamus kicks out again at 2. Bryan goes for the yes lock. Sheamus fights out. The attempt to reapply that lock is in there again. Again, Sheamus fights out. But, however, he goes shoulder first into the post, and his arm is dangling to the point where you feel like his shoulder's twisted in like that, and it's hurt itself. They've made an injury from that. Awesome. The commentators are stressing a possible separated shoulder as Bryan targets the shoulder, ramming it into the post on the outside, and then underneath the lower turnbuckle, pulling it in there. Bryan then whacks some low kicks to the shoulder repeatedly as Sheamus is on the ropes. And I'm thinking, fucking-ology, working that shit. And Sheamus is selling it like a boss as well. However, the ref counts to 5 as Bryan does not let up the kicks in the ropes. Therefore, Sheamus wins the first fall. Therefore, he's winning by 1-0. As Bryan is smiling with delight. You want to be in his position. And I said this at this point, as long as Sheamus continues to sell this injury, I'll be happy. Sheamus then drop kicks in the corner. Bryan then locks in the yes lock. He's struggling and his shoulder is in agony. Sheamus fades. Fights out a little bit, but it's all for nothing. Sheamus falls down. He is out, unconscious. Bryan and Sheamus tied, 1 apiece. Bryan chants for yes, yes, yes as the ref calls for the doctor, just to make sure Sheamus can continue. He was saying yes, 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 he wants to continue. The crowd, while Daniel Bryan is hyping up themselves, are going yes. And he's basically saying, yes, the crowd is saying no. And I think it's funny, going, yes, no, crowd dynamic. This is crazy. Sheamus then gets up and whacks a broad kick out of nowhere. This thing is over. 1, 2. Believe it or not, people, Daniel Bryan kicks out. Yes, yes, yes. The match continues. This fantastic match continues. Bryan goes back to kicking the arm, but Sheamus hits back. A roundhouse kick to the head by Bryan practically seals it. 1, 2, Sheamus kicks out again. Fucking hell. Bryan goes to the top rope, ready for the drop kick. Sheamus hits him down, selling that bad arm as he hits Bryan with it. Sheamus goes to the top rope, ready for a superplex. Bryan counters out with headbutts as Sheamus falls down. Bryan goes up, misses the headbutt, which people on the shout box on this stream I was watching were saying, "Oh crap, Benoit." Sheamus picks up speed with axe handles and the Irish curts, lines up with a bro kick, connects. 1, 2, 3. Sheamus retains by 2 falls to 1. And I don't think he sold that leaving the ring, but still, I gotta say, what a fun match to watch. Technical, bruising, both men look very strong in this, which is great. Texas Cloverleaf from Sheamus was just class, the crowd were really into it, and this match shows there is still a place in the WWE for a technical match. There is still a place here for that. Psychology of that shoulder for most of the match, apart from the very end when Sheamus left the ring, was done masterfully by both men. Really told a great story here. And I'm happy Bryan got a fall, proving that the WWE have made him look strong in defeat, because only one of Sheamus's falls was technically his own. So I can safely say, Bryan, you're still looking good, and if you come out on SmackDown or Raw in the next week and you look very good, I'll be pleased. The intensity of this match was great. It showed just what these two could do, and therefore I'm giving this a generous, very good rating. 4 stars. 4 well-deserved stars. Sure, we had to get through 18 seconds of WrestleMania thriller to get to this, but it was bloody worth it. If they put this on a WrestleMania, just imagine what would have happened. This WrestleMania card could have been an 8.25 or something like that if this match was on the card. Or even an 8.5 I would have given that. But we're looking at this pay-per-view now. We're not looking at WrestleMania. That's in the past. Then we got Ryback, who is the former Skip Sheffield, defeating 2 jobbers from the local area called Erin Relic and Jay Hatton. I have no idea how the Relic is spelt, but you see how their names are pretty shit to begin with. Although Jay Hatton is a pretty decent in-ring name for a guy. Before the match even began, I gave this a 0. Simply because it was going to be 1. The best part of this match, though, the crowd were chanting, "Goldberg, Goldberg," and I just went, you guys are geniuses. Well done, Chicago. And the fact is, Ryback is basically, I mean, Goldberg beat up jobbers for ages before he just went in and won the US title, held it for ages, then won the World Heavyweight title. That's how it went, didn't it? Ryback pounded, I think, Relic down, chucked him into the corner, then chucked Hatton in the ring before hitting a vicious clothesline and the smack on that. Fuck, you could even... But my hand didn't have it. I was like, fucking hell, he's definitely not got a jaw or too much teeth left. 2 vicious finishes. A modified Widow's Peak style finisher on Hatton. And then... Oh, what was the other one? It was a modified air raid siren by Ryback. He then pinned both of them at the same time. Convincing victory. However, it was a 0. It was a complete squash match. Nothing of worth, but I had to hand it to Ryback for demolishing these 2 guys after their shit promo earlier or before the match. I wanted these 2 to die horribly, and they did. They were beaten by a guy who said afterwards, "Feed me more." He wants more people to beat. Yeah, this definitely is a Goldberg rehash, isn't it, people? Ha! Right. Next up. I'm wearing that t-shirt again. I'm going to try and wear this t-shirt for every single pay-per-view. How fun would that be? CM Punk defeated Chris Jericho in a Chicago street fight to retain the WWE Championship in a damn good match. I wanted Punk's t-shirt saying drug-free, poison-free, despite the fact I'm not a Misfits fan. Either that, or that was the new Punk t-shirt. If that is the new Punk t-shirt, I want at it. But I've wanted most of Punk's t-shirts. I'm wearing one right now, so all's working. Right, both men stare down from opposite corners. They then run at each other and punch each other down as the match begins. Punk throws Y2J into the timekeeper's area, which has been busy all night, before throwing a chair into the ring. Punk also grabs a Singapore cane and whacks it across the back of Jericho. An ECW chant from this great crowd honouring the Sandman rings out as Y2J counters the Singapore cane swing, goes out of the ring, runs away, gets back in the ring. Punk just jumps him with a forearm right in the face. Jericho hides behind the ref, clawing onto his leg, and he's playing the cowardly heel, then thumps Punk in the eye like a real dastardly heel. Dick Dastardly, the lead character from Wacky Races, will be very proud of that underhanded tactics there. Where am I? Fuck, I've lost my place again! Fuck, here we go. Jericho then whacks Kane to the gut, followed by a corner springboard dropkick, sending Punk to the outside. Punk is then thrown kidney first into the timekeeper's area. It looks pretty damn rough. Punk throws Jericho into the announce table, but he then fights back with a headbutt and puts Punk back into the ring. Jericho exposes the turnbuckle and slaps the cover around the face of Punk. Punk, however, gets up and chops him. Punk goes for the running knee, but misses and falls to the outside. And I'm thinking, wow, that should have deserved a bit more, because is it just me? Or just like WrestleMania, the crowd quiet? They're either appreciating what these two are going through, or they really are not interested. And this is Punk's hometown, for God's sake. Ooh, where am I? Jericho strips the barricade down, slams Punk's head into it, right in front of his family. Good storyline input. Punk's sister then slaps Jericho. Now, my feed cut out at this point, so I didn't know if she actually did slap him. I'm believing that is what happened. Jericho then goes right for her, and the Punk just loses it, whacks him, rips the top of the announce table off, and then puts Jericho through it. Now, I have never seen somebody put someone through the top of the announce table and it physically breaking. It's not the actual table, but the WWE covering. I've never seen someone do that. Fantastic. Oh, where am I again? I've lost it. Punk goes for a pile driver on the floor. Jericho counters into a back body drop. Jericho then slams the monitor on the back, followed by the broken part of the announce table top onto the back as well. Jericho covers in the ring for 2. Punk botches a springboard clothesline, which I believe was a botch, and Jericho whacks him with the cane. Jericho is saying, "You see, this is what happens," referring to the drunkenness that happened in the previous week. This proves that maybe that wasn't a botch after all. Maybe that was purposely done just for Jericho to spew his hate out. I'll see if Mark P or anyone else agrees with that. Jericho berates Punk. Punk then rolls him through for 2. Singapore cane to the head by Jericho, covers for 2. Jericho goes out and grabs a can of beer from under the ring. You can literally find anything under a WWE ring. Remember they used to hype that anything could be under there? Find a can of beer just underneath the ring, okay? Stone Cold's not in the building, but honestly, they probably have to keep a cold one under there just in case. Oh, man. Punk is then doused in beer. Damn that Jericho. Jericho then grabs another beer, is kicked in the gut, beer splurts everywhere, and the cane is hit multiple times, and Punk comes back with a neck breaker before hitting the knee and bulldog combo. Punk grabs the kendo stick, rams it into Jericho's nads, which is a painful thing to do. Sets up a GTS, Jericho counters into the walls, but Punk then counters that. I missed something. A power slam then connects for a cover of 2. Punk crawls to the top rope, goes for the elbow drop. Jericho then hits the ropes to knock the champ down. Jericho then tries to suplex Punk, fails and gets hit down with a Mongolian chop. Nice. Punk then flies to the elbow, connects 1, 2, Jericho kicked out of the elbow drop. Randy Savage chants from the smart crowd ring out as Punk sets up a GTS. Jericho counters and then hits in a bulldog of his own. Jericho then goes for the lion salt, is hit, put in the GTS position again, counters one more time and throws Punk into the chair in the corner, rolls up for 2. Punk stumbles to Jericho. Jericho lands the code breaker. Jericho, at this point you'd think would go for the pin, wouldn't you? But no, he doesn't do it. He sets up the lion tamer before going into the walls. Punk is in agony. He crawls to the ropes and gets there. However, Jericho won't get let go because in a street fight there are no rope breaks. I completely forgot about that, and it made me go, no, what the hell are you doing? Oh god, it's no rules. Fuck. And it just made it even more intense, thinking, holy shit, he's going to have to tap, isn't he? But then, interesting enough, as Punk is crawling along the apron skirt, he pulls out a fire extinguisher. Holy crap! Punk with a fire extinguisher. What the? He then sprays it on Jericho. I have not seen that done in a hell of a long time. Just the right time to see it. Punk then slams the extinguisher into Jericho's gut before hitting a roundhouse kick that puts Jericho on the announce table. Punk goes to the top for the elbow drop and thinking, oh god, he's not going to do a Shane McMahon here. He stumbles, but honestly regains his composure and drives that son bitch right through the table. And I can tell you now, when the stream started to buffer, I could hear Michael Cole saying, right through the goddamn. He just literally tried to say goddamn, but couldn't have the balls to say it, knowing the Christian conservatives out there get pissed off. But at the same time, good to know he at least tried, because we haven't seen a giant elbow drop like that in quite some time. Right. Punk rolls Jericho back into the ring. 1, 2. Somehow, some way, Jericho is kicked out of it, but Punk locks in the Anaconda Vice straight away. Jericho's in agony, grabs Singapore Cane, whacks it round the head of Punk, actually breaking it in half, making Punk relinquish the hold. Punk's then holding a chair, Jericho holds the cane. Punk hits Jericho with a chair. He then gets code-breakered on the fucking chair. And at this point I'm thinking, with my heart in my mouth, no, he's not losing this now. 1, 2, but somehow Punk kicks out. Somehow, Jericho then whacks the cane around Punk's back, sets up a GTS of his own. Jericho's really thinking, yeah, this is my house. And Punk counters, catapults Jericho into the exposed turnbuckle, hits the GTS. 1, 2, 3. CM Punk retains. And ladies and gentlemen, this match had a lot going on. And it had what Kane and Orton lacked. Weapon usage, motherfuckers. Weapon usage. Although the crowd seemed quiet and the match was slow at times, the physicality and endurance shown by these two was off the charts. So many near falls, so many great moments to remember. The fire extinguisher spot, the table spot, Punk going mental after JBL, after Y2J went after his sister following the slap. It told a great story and gave the Chicago crowd their hometown boy going out strong. I have to say, this match I actually thought was going to be a lot worse than I thought it was going to be. Damn well made up for it. Okay, this match lacked some psychology, but it made up for it with the storyline being played out to absolute perfection, including the drunken botched springboard clothesline spot. I feel I'm being nice to give this 4 stars, or should I give it 3 3/4? Because that's the main thing. No psychology, not much psychology. Or do I go for the storyline, cancelling out that lack of psychology and round it up to a 4? Decisions. Oh, screw it. 4 stars. Yep, 2 4-star title matches on a pay-per-view. When was the last time I can safely say that happened? I can't think of any, to be honest. Right. Okay, before this match kicked off, Eve said that Beth Phoenix was unable to compete. Beth was disappointed, saying, okay, I'll get my title back when I come back from this injury. Nikki thinks she has the night off. Eve says her opponent is a surprise. Hey, I was thinking, oh, it's going to be Brie. It's going to be Brie. The sisters are going to finally fight. Oh, okay, that's good. But then, of course, she said it wasn't Karma, which we thought, okay, that's interesting. They're building up Karma. She's still scaring the Divas, even though she's not even there. How good's that? And then out comes Layla. Layla L, the British woman who won Diva Search, the woman who was with Michelle McCool in Flawless is back after a knee injury that's been her problem for too long, but a whole year of her career. She also came out with Michelle McCool's music, may I add. Nonetheless, Layla beat Nikki to win the Divas Championship. There's a spinning kick roll-up for one by Layla, which is lovely. She had about 2 or 3 of those. She had a lot of pace in this. Brie pushed Layla off the ropes and she sold the knee that the injury she's returning from. Nikki covers for 2. Nikki slams the knee, tries to go for a wrench, but is rolled up for 2. Layla hits a springboard crossbody, pushes Brie down, but then pushes Brie down, but is then pulled down by Nikki. A unique head scissor type cover countered to another cover by Nikki for 2. The Bellas then pull the switch, and then Layla hits Brie with a nasty looking neck breaker, which is sold to perfection, and gets the 3, new Divas champion. And it's good to see Layla back, sending the Bella twins packing to expiry contract land. Yay! Where all the careers go to die without being future endeavoured. Basically, this match had a fast display by Layla, even with a knee injury, proved she still got it, combined with a bit of psychology thanks to the knee injury. However, this was too short to really build anything. And it served its purpose, though. Give it some props. Half a star. And the Divas, half a star performance. Really thought after WrestleMania we get something better. But you never know. I want to see what Layla does now. I'd love to see what matches she puts on, actually. Right. Everybody, I'm going to step back because the microphone doesn't like it when I do this. It's now time for the main event, as Todd Grisham used to say. The one match which a lot of people were at least excited about. And I bet, unless you've checked spoiler sites, already know this, I'm not even going to announce the result. Because I'm just a nasty little bastard like that. Because it's better for people to basically get the match result of such a match like this right at the end of the review, much like I did with the Rock match, actually, because this is equal in importance. I'll tell you now. I'm not even going to reveal anything. Let's get on with it. The match is now on. Lesnar takes Cena down and pummels him with elbows and forearms. Lesnar then whacks him again to put him down. And guess what? Cena is gushing blood from the side of the skull. Ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, we got blood here at Extreme Rules. Fuck yes! However, Cena pummels Lesnar, but Lesnar just overpowers him. The physician comes in the ring. The boos are ringing out everywhere. Lesnar's being held back by the ref. I'm thinking at this point, holy shit, this is an Extreme Rules match. Let it go on. But let me just get to that point, because Cena runs at Lesnar, but again, Lesnar just puts him down. Knees to the chest. Lesnar pushes Cena out of the ring. The doctor comes in again. This match just slows down. It's just annoying. It's fucking stupid. Cena hits the elbow, goes for the AA, but Lesnar counters into a German suplex. Nice. Cena fights out of the hold and whacks Lesnar in the head along with the referee. It's basically the referee's down and out. Lesnar gets back up, hits Cena down again. Cena this is basically it, just takedowns all the time. It's not really much else at this point. Cena's head is then hitting as Brock wipes the blood across his chest, what he used to do back in his original debuting days. Cena goes for his chain, but Lesnar manhandles him in the corner. Lesnar then twists the arm, throws it back and forth into the turnbuckle. He's then thrown out, the arm is twisted as he's thrown into the barricade. Cena's chain is now in Lesnar's hands, thinking, oh god, he's going to rough him up. And then just chucks it away. Kicks Cena down again, knees him in the ribs. Lesnar then ties Cena's legs together with the chain. Fucking hell. Oh, he's then placed on the top rope. He's then put on the steel post. He's dangling upside down as Lesnar slams the arm repeatedly into the apron and then yanks him down onto his arm and head. Fucking hell, this is intense psychology work here. And Cole put a fantastic quote that Cena was hanging in a meat locker for Lesnar to basically pummel him. That is genius. Cena fights back but is thrown arm first into the steps. Again, gotta give the fact that Lesnar again has not lost his notion in what the craft holds. Well done, my friend. Lesnar gets the ref, puts him in the ring with one hand. Lesnar steps on Cena's hand, radio show, but Cena goes for the AA. Lesnar then goes for the F5. It hits the referee. Or no, it hits the referee at the same time. It wasn't a full one. 1, 2, 3, but the ref is down and out. So the second ref then runs in. 1, 2, Cena kicks out of the F5. Lesnar punches the other ref straight out of the ring. Lesnar is an absolute beast. If you're not watching this, you have absolutely no idea how much of an absolute beating Lesnar is giving everyone. Oh, and this is funny. More officials have come outside to check on the other beaten referee as Lesnar brings the steps into the ring. The king of the mountain, as Lesnar is, he poses on the steps. Then Cena Cena fights at him again. However, Lesnar then locks in the arm on the steps with a body scissors. Cena is screaming in agony. At this point, I'm going, oh, this is awesome! Oh god, I'm going crazy. Cena is selling the R. Oh, fuck it. Cena then lifts up Lesnar with the superhuman strength we know him for and slams him on the steps. Cena is selling that arm, goes for the leg drop. I thought he was going to actually hit the steps and hurt his ass. That didn't happen. He just misses completely and goes to the outside. Cena is crawling up the apron as Lesnar is standing on top of the steps looking down at his prey. Great quote again by Michael Cole. It shows he's still a good commentator when he needs to be. Lesnar jumps over the steps, slams his arm into Cena, but then he lands awkwardly on his knee on the way down. Lesnar's knee is fucked, but he's limping, laughing about it, and then crawls back and then climbs back into the ring again. This guy is a beast. Fucking hell. Oh, Lesnar then runs for the arm again, the same way. Lesnar then whacks Lesnar bang in the head with the chain. Cena is back in the ring. Lesnar is now bleeding as well. Cena goes for the attitude adjustment. It connects on the steps. Shit, fuck. 1, 2, 3. Cena beats Lesnar. Wow. Lesnar is then leaving on his own 2 feet while Cena is having to be helped up a bit by the paramedics. I'm thinking at this point, yes, he's selling an injury. Oh, yes. But believe it or not, he's no selling walking around. But he did mention to the camera, though, that his arm is a little messed up. At least he had that message to his mum. Eh? Cena then gets the mic, says Chicago is a wrestling town. They're supposed to see what Extreme Rules is and what Extreme is. And he is proud to be here in Chicago giving you a big match. He then announces he won't be here for a while. If he has to take a vacation thanks to the beating he's taken tonight, so be it. I'm thinking, what the hell is going on? What does this even mean? The pay-per-view just ends with Cena walking out. What does this mean, people? And wow. Just wow. I was speechless after this. First, we got a bloodbath of a physical match. Then we get a bombshell speech like that from Cena. Shaking with excitement after watching this. I'm shaking now. It sent shivers up my body. Because there was so much psychology, so much intensity. The crowd were lit up for it. It was... I don't think I have ever seen something like that. Ever. I mean, okay, sure, I have seen squash matches. I have never seen someone demolish anyone like that before. That was mental. That was absolutely one of the most mental things I have ever seen watching a WWE thing. And sure, it looked simple in terms of everything compared to what the 2 title matches had on before it, but it was effective in making Lesnar look like a brute and Cena weak for the first time in years. Every time he is beaten down by someone, he automatically comes back and it looks completely fake and cheesy. However, this case, he looked weaker than I've ever seen him before. We also saw blood being spilled openly and refs being beaten down all over the place. This was an absolute war. And also, for whoever claims that Lesnar's win was bogus, he did a Super Cena style comeback using a weapon. If the chain wrapped around his hand, whack. You do not see a Super Cena win with a weapon. He fully embraced the match with that one. And it's something we haven't at least seen since 2004. And guys, I'm going to give this match a high rating because it had so much energy, so much psychology, so much brilliance of what little occurred. There was a lack of diversity in moves, brought the match down. He jumped over the steps, did a German suplex, hit the nice elbow thing, but it was literally just a hellacious beatdown all the same. It was all the same. I would have also liked Laurinaitis or someone else interfering and multiple finishes leading to a tense finale like Rock Cena. I would have also, if I just look back, I would have also, I'm trying to find this now, there was something else I really thought this would have needed. More weapon usage maybe. I would have actually loved to have just seen yes, I know why. I'd love to have seen the physician get beaten up and he wouldn't have to bloody well come back and slow the match down. Because if it wasn't for all that together, this match would have been near darn well perfect. And that's saying something. Because the last time I saw a match of this magnitude, we're talking about, well, in terms of bloody mess magnitude, we're looking at Team Austin, Team Bischoff, Survivor Series 2003, that kind of match. But I have to say, though, even with those discrepancies, this is what main event should be. A slobber knocker that gets you excited to be alive watching wrestling, that makes you go, yeah, these two guys don't care. They're beating the shit out of each other. That's what wrestling is about, people. And I'll give this the rating it deserves. 4 stars, people. That's right. I've given 3 4-star ratings on a pay-per-view for the first time since SummerSlam 2002. That must be a first, people. Or no, actually, I would also say, yes, yeah, because Money in the Bank only had 2 4-star matches in its entirety. Simple as that. Right. To be breathless and excited after a pay-per-view makes you have faith in wrestling once more. Hell, that type of thing happens once a year at least, for God's sake. We got 3 4-star, high-quality matches from this, from the best guys in the company, and I'm very happy about that. The main event guys have put their spots where their mouths were, and they put on a show. Orton and Kane also showed their place by putting on an entertaining brawl of an opener, which is great. However, while I do not want to ruin the festivities I'm putting forward by that fantastic showing of great matches, this pay-per-view did have 2 matches which were worthless, despite in one of those having Ziggler's best efforts to make it a good, non-one-sided fight, and 2 others which had little to offer in terms of quality, but did just enough to escape the bottom of the barrel. And talk about a lopsided show. It was a really lopsided show. You had some really shit 2 0s, 2 half-stars, and then a 2 and a 3/4 and 3 4-star matches. When the hell am I ever going to say that's going to come along again? I'll say this, in my book though, the pluses outweigh the minuses. Those big matches will outweigh those really small ones. And it makes this pay-per-view 7 3/4 out of 10. The best pay-per-view of the year so far. And thank you, the great crowd of Chicago, for making this happen. WWE guys are slowly climbing up the pay-per-view ladder once again. 2 great shows on the run. I'm happy. All they need to do now is to make the pay-per-views less lopsided. They need to make the all-round show great. If they could put on 4-star great matches for at least a third of the show, the rest of it upper 2s, I'd be pleased. That would mean they could spew out a 9 later this year. That would be fucking awesome if they could. And I know they can. This is just showing again WWE can pull off a good pay-per-view. And they've done it 2 shows running. I'm hoping they can continue this, because this is making me excited. I hope it's making you guys excited too, because tomorrow night on Raw, after I watch this Man City Man United game, this should be fun. This should be a great day to be alive for a wrestling fan. I tell you that for sure. Guys, I am done. Thank you for sticking with this nearly 50-minute long review. 50-minute long, here we go. 50-minute long review. I hope you've enjoyed it. Actually, I hope you enjoyed the pay-per-view as well. What did you think? If you want to say anything about any of the matches, you know where to go. Put the stuff in the comment section down there. Also, just in case I need to remind you, click the subscribe button up there. And also like the video. Like Cream Crazy's Wrestling Rant on Facebook. CreamCrazyWR on Skype. And also, because you can, ask me Q&A questions. I've already gotten 9 already. It's only been a day, so Lord knows what I'm going to get for my next one. Guys, I've been Cream Crazy. You've been people watching. This has been my Extreme Rules pay-per-view review. My 3rd video in 3 days. And I will see you next time for my Over the Limit predictions. Oh, actually, it'll probably be my Judgment Day 2000 Friday Flashback review, which I still have to do for you guys. But if not, it will be at Over the Limit for the predictions. Alright? Hope you guys have a fantastic week. It's 5:30 in the morning. I had to put my eardrops in and then get some sleep before going to college. It's only been 3 hours sleep, but fuck it, it'll be worth it. Guys, I will see you next time. Cheers.